Okay, we're online. Okay, so again, this is our second podcast. My name is Avery, and this is John. We're the owners of Police Fire EMS of America, and today we have
You're not gonna say it?
John. That's you.
Oh, you wanted me to? Oh, I thought you were going to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Matt from USA Police Photography. Hello,
Hi
Matt.
guys.
Okay.
So,
Um, yeah. Follow his page if you're following us. Definitely follow him. I will put his Instagram name in a post we make about this later on Instagram. Okay, so as you guys know, we recently hit 5,000 followers. So we're going to do a few things special for that. For those of you that have watched our podcast before, you will know that I was talking about possibly getting a law enforcement officer to be a part of our podcast. I have gotten in contact with him again, and that is going to happen in the near future. So keep an eye out for that. We will be posting updates on that. Also, we may have a store coming out soon. The things won't necessarily be made by us. It will be from a website that I found where we just design it and they sell it for us. So we don't actually have to put anything into it to start because we're broke. So there's that. And now this, I actually still kind of need to talk to you about, John, but the new pictures we're going to start posting. Not just emergency vehicles, but the just anything that relates really to law enforcement or first responders from North America, such as the funny pictures, meaning memes, or like just funny captioned pictures, things like that.
okay. That sounds
Do you
like a good idea. 'Cause, I mean, we've
yeah,
done
instead of,
like the same thing for
I think it's been how many? Like a year and a half now.
it's just been like, I think it's only been like a year because I know we started before like 9/11 because I remember like doing posts about that. So I
Yeah,
remember it
it
was like
was.
before that, but I don't think I think we've been going for about maybe just a year, maybe a little bit over a year, but I don't think it's been a year and a half.
You remember how it started? We started talking on iFunny and then found out that we had the same interest, and then we created the page.
Pretty much. It was like, I don't know, it was like weird, like the way everything started. It was just like all a coincidence.
Yeah,
But, we have like similar interests and everything.
yeah, and then it took from there. Um, okay, now this, I just kind of wanted to say something about it. It's not necessarily something that we need to talk about. It's just something that I feel is funny and that we should bring up. Many of you know that due to the nature of our page, we do post police pictures. People that are against law enforcement will come on our page and try to tear us down. That's not necessarily the case because of you guys. With us now having 5,000 followers on Instagram, we may have around, what do you think, John? Like 3,500 actives?
It's, I haven't checked the number, but I think we only have like 1,000 that don't like actually do anything. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
I think it's
still,
more
that's
around
just
there.
proving my point that if we post something, like we've done it before, we've asked for you guys to go and report and block somebody with success. But it's just now it's something where we can't really do anything about it. It's happened on our YouTube. Um, so I just want to bring
hmm
up some of the comments these guys have said that just haven't really made any real sense. It's just kind of funny
Let me
what
make
they've.
one point about when somebody comments. Like normally, if nobody like respond, like if I can get to it really quickly and nobody's responded to it, I'll just delete it. But if people have started to respond to it, I'll just leave it there because I don't want like anybody like not seeing a comment and wanting to know what it was about. Like if somebody else has replied to it and they want to know what the comment's about, I'll just leave it.
Yeah.
That way
Um,
everybody can
but
give their opinion about it or whatever.
this was on YouTube, and I'm gonna leave it up just to show the ignorance of some people. So on two of our podcasts, we have had people. Well, one of them wasn't as serious. It was just somebody who couldn't come up with anything better than calling us pigs. Come on, come up with something better. That's been out for
Yeah.
years. I mean, seriously, you guys are creative. Come up with something. Honestly, we won't really give a fuck what you say. Try to tear us down. You're not going to. But one of them said, I hope you all die in ambushes along with all your fucking pig buddies. Leave the fire department out of it. They are real heroes. Citizens ambush you fucking pigs because you are murderers. Everyone loves firefighters. First off, we never said anything bad about firefighters. John, you want to tell them what you're doing since that point just got brought up?
I don't remember what you're talking about. You're gonna have to mention it. But one thing I wanted to say about it, maybe this is what you were talking about. But apparently, I mean, based on this logic, you gotta think. I mean, if they think like this, they pretty much think that everybody who has shot someone in self-defense that's like a concealed carry, like that's a concealed carry permit and everything. Apparently, by their logic, they're murderers too. So
Yeah.
I think about that. Like they are not thinking at all like how they think. They just hateful
Yeah,
people.
well, what I was actually talking about, though, is they said leave firefighters out of this. Everyone
Oh,
loves them.
yeah, okay, that's okay. I was kind of confused about what you meant by that.
Yeah.
The way you brought it up kind of confused me.
Yeah, sorry
But
about
yeah,
that. But, yeah, just go ahead and make that announcement now, and then I'll make mine following that.
both of us or just me. Then you can go on.
You and then me.
All right. So I was planning on if there's an opening, going and becoming a volunteer firefighter down the road for what, a couple of years or till whenever.
And my announcement is that I was planning on becoming a volunteer EMS. Now, keep this in mind. We are both explorers. We both love police in the field of law enforcement. That does not mean that we hate the other first responder groups.
I don't see how you could hate any first
Yeah.
responder if you're interested in any of them.
Yeah, I mean, if you hate one of them, then you pretty much should just go ahead and kill yourself because it's just not really worth it. I mean,
I wouldn't go that far,
no,
but
I mean, it's a. I actually shouldn't have said that because it's more of an inside joke than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that, and then another one was just. Let me see if I can find the other comment. Yep, just pigs. People have just said pigs die, all that. Nothing
it
that.
gives you find, like how they think and where they think, or like they'll just hear something, like a random something on the internet that doesn't even like they've never stepped foot in a police department, they've never been on a ride along, they've never done anything, but they think they know everything about it
Yeah,
just from like
just
Yeah,
like
that
with
gets
the.
really annoying.
Like if you guys have seen online where they had articles about how a situation was handled, and then all these people automatically become experts on the field of law enforcement saying this is how the situation should have been handled.
or it's like you get those like articles that like don't give any information. It's just like, oh, someone was unarmed, was shot. It doesn't give like what they were holding, like what the situation was, what they were called to, or anything like that. It just like pretty much gives like very basic little facts, but you can't get anything from it. Like you won't. It's just it's to make like police officers look bad. Like when the actual information comes out, nobody wants to look at it because it's not interesting.
And now that actually brings up one of the other things I have to bring up. It's many of you, I'm pretty sure, have heard of it. It's the Darren Wilson incident.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm not really familiar with it as much as you are, John, probably.
Okay, yeah, I know a little bit about it, and
Because I have just honestly, it's just to the point where I've heard so much about things like this going on. I've heard so much about it at school, on Instagram, on Facebook. I've pretty much every time I've seen something about it, I've just stopped reading it and just
Yeah,
gone on.
that's what I've done.
I
See, I
mean,
started.
many of
I
you guys
started-
remember back from the Trayvon Martin trial. It's one of those
Oh, yeah.
cases. It's one of those same
I mean,
things again.
It's kind of similar, kind of different. It's similar in certain ways, but I mean, it's people are getting mad about the same thing. They're making it a race issue,
Yeah.
which it never ever was to begin
No.
with. But the thing is, oh God, I forgot what I was going to say. But somebody else go because I completely forgot what I was going to say.
I'm actually trying to see if I can find something that I believe this happened on your account, Matt. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Okay, I'll
So-
go start what I was talking about. But yeah, I started reading up about it the first week that it was all this stuff was going on, and then after that, I mean, it's just so much like people don't understand like anything about the situation, or they don't like actually read into the facts. They'll just go and like hear something on the internet and believe that's 100% truthful. Like I've argued with people so many times about how he was shot with his hands up or shot in the back, which by like they've released the autopsy and none of that is true. He was shot all in the front and in his arms where it wouldn't have been possible for him to have his hands up at all.
Yeah.
And then people say, oh,
Yep.
you know, he was unarmed. Like, you can't shoot someone who's unarmed. But if they're, like, he had the officer had, I guess he got punched in the face or something, and he had a fractured eye socket, and the guy was going for his gun. That person is trying to kill him. He has all right to use deadly force in that situation.
And that brings up something else. Have you ever heard a cop say, "Oh, let me put up my handgun and grab a less lethal option"? No.
You don't normally do that unless they're pretty far away from you.
Like, if they're 10 feet away from you charging at you with a knife, you don't have time to put up your gun and get your taser or your OC spray. You just grab whatever you have your hand on and pull it and use it if needed.
Yeah,
I mean, normally
there's no time for that.
the situation is going to be like the thing you go with.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
you don't use a taser when there's just you. Like because if it doesn't work, then you're screwed. And like once you have them on the ground, you can't cuff them or anything. Like you have to wait for somebody to come and do it for you. Because you don't want to be laying your taser down or like messing with it while you're cuffing someone.
Yeah, I found the comments. It's just ridiculous what people have said. I mean,
I know, yeah.
I mean,
another guy. This was on another guy's point or another guy's page, who we will actually have in the near future on our page or on our podcast. He was. You remember this, John? You were the one that actually handled it because that was too stupid for me to actually do anything.
Oh yeah, I remember who you're talking about.
Yeah. So this was one of the arguments John was talking about online. It was of course, with our page, even though, well, I'm not going to say this because if he was clearly in the wrong, I wouldn't have said it, but we do stand with Darren Wilson because he did what was appropriate in that situation, in my opinion. It may be different for John, but in my opinion, that's what happened, and what he did it appropriately and how it should have been done.
Yeah, from what I've heard, like what I've read about the situation and everything, he acted in the right and made a split-second decision, which is definitely, like, you can't say that's murder or anything. That was completely self-defense.
Yeah, definitely.
There were, on that picture I was talking about, there are 101 comments because people just wanted to continue arguing the point. I mean, we finished, and people still tried going on. I just wish someone would hit them and knock some sense into their head.
Yeah, it's really annoying how they don't, like, you can say something and they will completely ignore it and say, oh yeah, you're wrong. It's like, no, this is a fact. Like, I've actually read this somewhere. You just heard something in her.
Exactly, and
like, just saying that.
I'm just gonna, if I can find a good point that I remember looking at and laughing because they didn't know what they were talking about, I will read it off. But another thing is that girl you were arguing with, she was 13.
And didn't know anything, to be honest.
No. Okay, this is she said Mike was never a threat, Wilson was never attacked, screw yourself with your false info. Then her name. Then please explain to me how a medical report released by a hospital, not a news agency, stated that Officer Wilson had facial fractures due to the confrontation. That was the wrong word. With Brown. And how do you know what we are trained for? Have you been to an academy? And then somebody on our side said, but the thing is, you don't know shit. Just like we don't know how certain he was a threat, you definitely don't know he wasn't. We can only take what little we know and try to piece a story together, so don't come at me with an attitude just because your experience and opinions differ from yours. There hasn't been talk on anything about Wilson attacked, and his appearance on national TV showed a clear face unmarked. See, that right there, that's just clearly stupid about his face being unmarked. There's makeup, he could have had time to heal before then. There's many possibilities why his face was clear. So that's why your statement is proved wrong.
From before the incident.
Yeah. And then she also pointed out, she said that, well, I do not believe that, and neither does the other 92% of Americans. She put America. Oh, no, she said 92% of citizens in America supporting Mike Brown. First off, I wonder how she even got that. She probably just reached up her ass and pulled it out with a bunch of other things.
Of
Um,
course.
and then she said that because he wasn't marked or anything, that there's nothing wrong with him. On the report, it said that he was fractured. A fracture is under the skin, not on it. Like I told you before, you might want to take some anatomy classes. Also, did you not know that 2 nights ago during the riots that Brown supporters caused, there were multiple gunshots and at least 2 injuries? Guess what? Police never fired a single live round of ammo. All the shots were from the rioters, and bullet injuries were from the shots that rioters fired.
Yeah.
So,
See,
again, that's just proving not cops aren't murderers. People kill people. And then
Yeah.
she also came back and said, she said something, please show me where it says 92 per, oh no, this was someone on our side. It said, please show me somewhere. I have to take this real quick. Can you start talking, John?
Yeah, but yeah. One thing is like, it's so annoying to like nobody. This is why like most of the silent majority like they are like supporting us because they don't want to deal with these people. Like they are just they're really aggressive. Most of them give like death threats for no reason just because you either want to do a job or you are related to that profession or in it, and they don't understand anything about it. I haven't met a person who has been in law enforcement or like has actually tried to pursue a career in one where they actually completely dislike officers and everything the way these people do. Like most of these, I would assume, most of these people are going to be like what, 20, less than 20 years old. Like they've never really actually been in the real world. They don't know how really anything works. They've never been in like a life or death situation. So I mean, that's pretty much like what you got to think about. You're talking to these people is
I'm
they
back.
really don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here looking through it. This one woman, or this, I'm not even gonna call her a woman because she's not a woman yet. I mean, she probably hasn't even gone through puberty. She's saying the hashtag Rip Mike Brown, and so many posts are under that. Yeah, there are a lot of posts because that's the single designated hashtag for that post for people who support Brown. But ours are all spread out over numerous others. Added up, they equal greater and probably 4 or 5 times that of Rest in Peace, Darren, or not,
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown, yeah. Again,
Mhm.
proving my point. I haven't kept up with this case because I'm tired of hearing about it. But I don't mind talking about it.
Yeah.
Because it just shows people with no law enforcement experience, people that have no clue anything about what law enforcement officers do, automatically become experts on everything that there has to be known about law enforcement and how situations should have been handled and how they were handled and all this other made up information that is just, yeah.
Yeah, it just gets really annoying sometimes when people think they know everything about law enforcement when they really don't.
No, anything. Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you guys going way back to the Trayvon Martin case, you guys remember how much stuff was all over social media, the news, like people talking face to face. Like we even had a debate about it in social studies class about the situation, and like there was half of the class that said I agree with it, what was done, and there was the other half of the class that did not agree with it, said that yeah, and
I mean,
all
that's
those guys in the classroom immediately became law enforcement experts and said, this is how it should have been handled. This is
Yep.
what they did incorrectly. This is what they could have done better. I'm just like, and I'm sitting here as a law enforcement explorer, knowing what they go through. I'm sitting here like, you're wrong. You're wrong. I see where you're coming from, but you're still wrong. You're just a bald-faced dumbass. Don't talk anymore. Things like that. Because it's just,
what was his name? George Zimmerman wasn't like in law enforcement or anything, right?
yeah, he was I think it was just like a sheriff, or not a sheriff, a security officer.
No, he wasn't even security. He was just like a community watch. I think he just had a concealed carry.
That's just really stupid, though.
Yeah, I mean the situation. Like I don't want to compare those two situations because they're both completely different. Like I think from what I've heard about the whole Trayvon Martin thing, if like either one of those people was like, I feel like it's both of their faults. Like Trayvon should have never like attacked George Zimmerman, and George Zimmerman should have never really actually went up to him because like he called 911. The dispatcher told him like not to go up to him and talk to him or anything.
But he did anyway.
Yeah, he still went up and confronted him, which I think like if I was in either of their shoes, this would have never happened. Like it's both of their faults. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
And then
serve them, but I mean it's both. They both
with what I've heard, sorry for interrupting, but with what I've heard about this current issue is that I'm horrible with the names, so forgive me if I get them wrong. Brown charged at Wilson with a knife. Wilson fired once at him. The guy with the knife turned around and tried to run away, and then he got shot several more times. That just to me sounds like utter bullshit, because if you get shot, you're probably going to fall straight to the ground and not try to go any further necessarily.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
That he got shot once and then turned around and started running and then got shot 3 more times. An officer's not trained to shoot once they're running around. They chase them. They don't try to kill them or injure them and get them on the ground. No.
But you can easily, like, I've seen videos, like, people will still, like, even if they're shot once or twice, they will still keep going. They will still, like, adrenaline is, like, crazy when you think about it. Like, they will keep, definitely if they're on harder drugs. Like, if they're on a lot of drugs, or if it's, I mean, it could be just adrenaline, they will keep going. They will keep fighting until they are down. That's why you have to, you know.
I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go do something.
Okay. You don't shoot to hurt or shoot to kill. You shoot to stop the threat. It doesn't matter if you kill them or hurt them. As long as, you know, they're not a threat to you anymore, that's when you stop shooting. Which a lot of people don't understand that point.
Yeah, it just gets. Yeah.
You've been talking a lot, so I'm gonna let you say something.
Okay. Well, it gets like really annoying when people like something happened, like the case we're talking about, and everyone just becomes like magically an expert on law enforcement. They know every single thing about law enforcement, and they go to like social media and they say this is what should have been done when they have no training whatsoever in law enforcement.
Yeah, and see, one thing about that annoys me is, like, people are wanting to make this a race issue. Like, they're saying it's white versus black, which it never was. It was just self-defense. Like, it was never, yeah, he confronted him, like, walking down the street, but apparently, what I've read, he was, like, blocking traffic while he was walking across the street. So that's why he was, which is, like, a normal stop. Like, if you're, like, in a bad area, you'll stop people for that all the time. Like, it doesn't matter what their race is. If you're not really doing anything, you see someone doing that, you're going to stop them for it.
Yeah,
they're just saying, oh, he would have been shot if he was black. If he was white, nobody would have heard about this at all. Like, people aren't just like the news and everybody else. That is like, or most people want to make this a race issue, which it never should have been. And it really
it's definitely not, because if you get called to somewhere that something is happening, it's definitely not like. It's definitely not based on the race, you know. It's to protect whatever. If you need to protect someone or need to stop something, that's what it's all based on.
I mean, you gotta think too. Like, we don't like bad cops as much as everybody else. Like, it makes us look bad. Like, I know, like, the best thing I've heard about it. Like, everybody thinks like, oh, there's so many bad cops that. Yeah, I mean, everybody, like, just covers it up. It's like, no, you've never been in the police department. You don't know, like, the best analogy I've heard of it from other officers is your partner doesn't pay, or, like, someone in your squad or someone in your department doesn't pay your salary. Because pretty much if you get caught, like, that you knew something about, like, something that they did that wasn't right, you didn't say anything, you're going to get fired.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, like, you gotta think, like, if you're a bad cop, you're not gonna do it in front of everybody else. Like, you're gonna do it when nobody sees it, or there's no way to have evidence of it.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's a good amount of bad cops, you know, in the U.S., but it's not every cop is bad. I mean, most of them are actually really nice and good cops that follow all the laws and rules.
It's pretty much all of them. It's just like, I mean, it's just bad like media coverage. Nobody like understands what's going
Yeah.
on. And
I
I mean,
think
yeah, and all you see is like the bad stuff. Like there's never normally anything good, and if it is, nobody sees it. Nobody wants to look at it.
yeah, definitely on the media, like news and stuff, they don't take enough time to actually go through the facts. They just report it the second it happens.
And sorry about going on this topic so long, but
Yeah.
got all the topics. He hasn't come back yet, so we're just rambling on with the same thing, and we probably went over like the same like things over and over again.
Yeah.
But we have nothing else to say. And anyway, YouTube comments are known for being.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, YouTube comments are known for being expected. Like those gonna be easy comments, and they're all gonna be negative.
Yeah.
But yeah, Avery, we're ready to move on to the next topic. I think we went
Yep.
Well, what is that, Matt? What was the next topic you guys went on to?
Well, I think
we're waiting for you.
Oh, okay. Well, what I have here for our next topic, just ran up 2 flights of stairs,
Wow.
is police body cams.
yeah.
I've got some stuff to say about this. I guess I'll go first. So I like the idea. I think it's a really good idea. The only thing that I don't like about it is how much that stuff costs. Like you gotta add in the body cameras, like all the storage space. Like I mean, if you're recording these 24/7,
Like let's just say let's say the cameras they get are about the same price as a GoPro. GoPro's about what, $400 each?
Yeah.
On average, how many officers do you guys think a department has?
I guess it depends. Like if it's a small town, you're probably gonna have what 30. But if you're like county sheriff or police, you're gonna have way over 100.
Yeah, so let's just say pull a number out of my ass, 500.
Okay.
That's so 500 officers times $400. That's gonna run you, about 200,000, I think. I'm horrible with mental math like that, but it's gonna be a lot. And then
I mean, it's not even the most expensive part.
adding in the SD cards that'll have the storage for them, that's more. And then the mounting brackets is even more. And then
I mean,
the computers.
The ones that I've seen, they should already you don't have to mount them anywhere. They just slip in the pocket.
Oh, okay, that's better because this department I know, where my grandmother lives, they're trying to get GoPros for all the officers to wear on their heads.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
only thing I have to say about this is, if you're an officer and you're scared about this, you're only scared because you have something to hide. Like if you're a normal officer and you do what you're supposed to do, you have no reason to be scared.
Yeah, see, I love the idea. It's just so expensive, and most places don't have the money.
Yeah, the department where my grandmother lives, it's a small department. They only have 25 officers, 4 dispatchers, and nobody has the money to fund this. So I mean, and the government doesn't give as much money. So.
And you got to think, the people that are complaining about wanting cameras now, when those actually come out, they're going to complain about how they have no privacy and they're always being watched. And every, thing that they do, in, a cop's presence is recorded. You know they're going to come back and say that. I mean, it's...
Yeah, definitely.
It's going to have some negative comment or always argue about something. This isn't going to, change their minds and make it feel better.
Exactly.
Yeah, the idea that if you're a cop and you're scared of getting the cameras, then you really shouldn't be in law enforcement if you have something to hide.
Yeah. I'm really hoping they'll have those when I finally get hired eventually.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
For court and everything.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, definitely.
But see, the main thing is, which I've heard the argument about, because I read about this a good amount, is the storage space. If you have cloud storage, you have to go through a different company to pay for all that storage. If you're recording 24/7, You're
That's a
recording
lot of memory.
iCloud. I'm just gonna use something I'm familiar with. iCloud. 20 additional gigabytes a year is $5. That's not a lot, but
But
thinking
think
about it,
of
like
24/7.
yeah,
like
that's even more.
spend more than that every
It's a lot more.
you know. It's just really expensive.
It
Mhm.
really is.
I mean, I really like the idea of the cameras, but yeah, they're going to be really expensive. That's the problem.
I mean, eventually, hopefully, the government will like get the funding and everything out,
Yeah,
and we'll have
definitely.
it on a larger scale where
Yep.
more and more people can do it. It'll be more affordable.
Yeah, that'd be a lot nicer.
I mean, it would be pretty freaking cool if like they had a government website where you could watch all of this footage too.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That'd be
Someone better make that.
Yeah.
like really boring to just see the inside of a squad car for 8 hours, and then maybe action for like 2 or 3.
Yeah, because if you think about it, there are those officers that literally just sit there doing nothing for 8 hours.
Yeah.
There's really nothing to do. I mean, around here there really isn't. Unless
I mean, where one of my buddies works, he had a 12-hour shift. He sat in his car for 10 hours of that shift.
I mean, yeah, normally that's. I mean, if you're in like not a very like crime-ridden area, that's
Pretty much your shift.
Yep.
definitely
You
if you're
get, you get paid to drive around in circles.
at night and in the winter. You probably barely see anybody because it's too cold, and you know nobody really goes out at night.
Yeah, I mean, the people that go out at night are people that either want to break their curfew set by if they have like if they're on parole, or if they're a kid my age that loves going outside in the dark and having fun with friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're outside like in the winter at night here, you're pretty much driving like nobody walks unless they're homeless. And nobody's walking around.
Okay, so that pretty much covers that. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I'd like to see it. In reality,
So,
it's gonna cost a lot of money.
yeah.
Okay,
Next
so
topic.
do you want to talk about LS Ice Bucket, or do you want to skip that and come back to it?
Let's just cover that at the end. Why not?
All right, yeah, that'll be last. Well, all right, we've already done this. All right, so now we're gonna talk to you, Matt. Ask about your opinions on things.
Okay.
Question time.
Okay, so what is your like main interest? Like, are you more interested in police, fire, or EMS?
I definitely have to say I'm more interested in police, but I definitely also like fire and EMS a lot.
Yeah. Are you an explorer or a junior firefighter or in training for EMS or
I'm
anything?
an explorer right now.
Okay, that's pretty cool. If you do not mind, what department or what area?
I'm more in the South Jersey area.
Okay, that's cool. 1 second, John.
What are you doing? Okay, never mind. But I guess that's pretty cool. I mean, we're all three of us are police explorers. So, is there anything like specific you like about your post, or anything that you do that you find interesting?
Basically, I like that there's not too many there's not a lot of crime, which is actually really nice because it's not really an area where there's a lot of crime. It's more like just some minor stuff, that you go out on.
Okay, so that covers that. Another thing, what are your plans? Like, would you become a firefighter, police, or EMS, or none of them?
I'm thinking about probably becoming a police officer.
Okay, that's pretty much what John and I would do, if most likely.
Yep.
Okay. So that's out of the way. Let's see, what else was that main one, or the other one I wanted to ask was. Well, I've already asked that.
You have it written down, or are you just thinking these?
The document I had them typed in is gone.
Oh, did you delete it, or is it just you gotta pull it up?
It didn't get saved. My computer died and it didn't save it.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's that.
Got your question? Can you remember it?
I got those two.
Okay, I will just for everybody in the comments.
Oh yeah, and just because this is gonna make somebody mad, yay, we have 2 viewers. On the last one, somebody said you're excited about 1 viewer, fucking pigs. So I just want to get excited about 2 this time.
Yeah.
Viewers or something right now.
So that's out of the way. Let's see. Matt, what did I want to ask you?
But yeah, what I was gonna say. Fuck, I forgot
Go
what I
ahead.
was gonna say.
Yeah, alright, so I guess we'll...
I'll remember it, and then you'll say something, and I'll completely forget it. Like it'll just be gone.
Alright, so I guess we'll go on to the next topic.
Yep.
Alright, so this is the last final topic. The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge.
So you challenged the page.
Yeah, I challenged the page, and granted, it is late. I'm probably just going to take the one I did on my personal page and upload that to our page. And then, John, if you would send me yours, I can, put them together in, a split pick or something.
Yeah, I completely forgot about it. It's been a while, but I guess I can do it tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah,
I remember. I always forget stuff like that.
we'll have to upload it and challenge people. We'll challenge people that have pages related to ours that we are in constant contact with. That we kind of, we're in the same groups. When people DM us, it's the same people. I kind of like that a lot. It's really fun. Now that's out of the way, and I just want to say this one last time. Thank all of you that have helped us make it to 2,500. Look at me, to 5,000 followers on Instagram. We really couldn't have done it without you guys. In a little under a year, we've gotten this far. Just have to say again, thank you guys for sticking with us and stay awesome. Keep sending us pictures, either to our Kicks DM. Mine is ADJP12. John, give them yours.
Yeah, mine's John4821. It's on the page.
Definitely follow Matt. His Instagram name is USA Police Photo. Did I get that right?
USA Police Photography. Close.
Photography. Close. All right. Yeah, so definitely follow him. Kick us photos, DM us photos, send him photos as well.
Yeah, definitely. I need those.
We will see you guys in our next podcast. Also, one more thing before I go.
I got one too.
All right, you go ahead and say yours.
All right, so we are looking for guests. If you think you have anything interesting to add, or you think you'd be a good guest, definitely DM us or kick us or whatever. We're interested in pretty much anybody. We're just going to see who's out there who wants to do one, because we're probably going to do more than a couple more of these.
Yeah, you kind of just took what I was about to say. Yeah, since I'm the one in charge of all of the podcasts, I will make a post about this later. For those of you who are interested, I will have you kick me personally, ADJP12. I will get back to you, let you know when we would be interested in having you. If we want you, most likely yes. We've only had 2 people ask so far, and they've already been said yes to.
Shout out.
Yeah, we'll shout out them as in the order that they're received at the beginning of each podcast.
Oh, no, I got to shout out to somebody, or it might be a guest. So one of my friends who's on YouTube, his name is Gangren. I think you spell it Gangrenn. He is a YouTuber. He is French. He does a lot of GTA kind of little gaming videos and stuff like that, and I've done patrols with him and everything. Really cool dude. He's only got I think it's 7,000 subscribers or somewhere around in that area, but he's got a ton of views on his videos. You've probably seen, if you looked up any GTA 4 videos, you've probably seen one of his before, because he's got a lot of good machinima type videos that you've probably seen before. But we may be getting him as a guest at some point, because I've talked to him. He said he's interested. We just haven't got a date or anything set, and then with the time differences, it's kind of hard to get everything set up.
Yeah, and just before you guys actually say anything, we are in Eastern time, so we are ahead of you guys. So we'd really appreciate it if before you actually send us something, you would check the time difference, so you're not kicking us at 1 to 2 in the morning when it's 10 o'clock your time, or 11 o'clock your time, because most likely during the school week I'm asleep at 1 in the morning because I have long days at school, and it's just kind of hard
Yeah.
for me to sleep every morning
I've
at
had a
1
lot of people do that.
to get people to
It's
send
really
me
annoying
things.
sometimes.
Yeah, so just thank you guys.
I'll reply whenever I see it. So.
For me, if you kick me, I probably won't reply until I wake up in the morning.
I'm not
But
ignoring you. We just don't. We're asleep.
yeah, we're asleep. Don't think we're being mean or trying to ignore you, unless you're that J-Lant kid.
He's probably listening. Why would you do that?
We have 0 viewers right now.
I know, but this is gonna go. People are gonna see it.
I
You're
know.
gonna make
I'm just picking on him. I'm just picking on him.
We love him.
We do, in a
All
way.
of his pages.
We love all of our followers. So yeah, just closing. Thank you guys for helping us get to 5,000. We will hopefully get to 10K by the end of, maybe, I doubt it, but by the end of this year. Maybe even, well, not by the end of this year, maybe second quarter next year.
But yeah, thanks for everything. You guys,
Yeah.
Everything you do helps us out a lot. It makes us want to keep going. Everybody who sends in pictures, thank you. That definitely helps us out a lot. Because, like, I can get photos, but normally, like, it's kind of hard to, like, find departments, like, everywhere. Like, normally I just look up departments I already know. But these, like, most of them that I've gotten, like, I wouldn't have found photos of.
Like, looked up on our own. Like, I didn't post it because it was too blurry and wasn't clear enough. I would have posted it if I could have found a better picture of it, but all the ones that I saw were in bad quality. But I got a picture from Alaska, which is something I wouldn't have looked up.
Really? Nice.
Yeah.
But, one more thing about, like, DMing and sending us photos. Like, if you haven't seen yours up, either we've skipped over it, forgot about it. Like, I know I've had a couple saved that I completely forgot about. But, I mean, I'm not going to use, like, really low-quality photos where you can barely see anything.
And I'm not going to use photos that
I'm not
are...
gonna tell you they're bad. Like, I'm just going to say, I'm either not going to reply or I'm going to say, oh, thanks for these. But I'll tell you, like, if I'm not going to use them, hopefully. Because
I will tell you as well. Like, I've straight up said, one guy sent me a photo of a cop car that was clear, that he took it. So I had no doubt about that. But there were two things wrong with it. One, the car was too small in the picture. It was like, I don't even know how to describe how small it was in the picture. But it was so small that it wasn't even an eighth of the size of the whole picture. And when I put it in Instagram to try to see if it would make it larger, it didn't. It was really tiny. So I couldn't post that, and I felt kind of bad about doing it, about not posting it, because it was a pretty cool car.
But Avery, I got one thing to ask you. So you've got that app on your phone where you can save videos from Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Okay, can you go back and, like, just go back on the DMs and go through all the videos and save those and use those? Because I've been wanting to use those, but there's, like, no way to, because, like, even if you email them to me or send them through a message, they look like just the quality is completely different. Like, it's going from, like, 180p to 240. Like, it's bad.
Yeah, and going back to that, yeah, guys, I jailbroke my phone for this page. I downloaded a tweak that allows me to save pictures and images that are sent to us through DM, so we don't have to go through and crop it or any of that. So now we will be able to definitely start posting videos from you guys, not videos that we've taken. So yeah, videos are accepted now. Send more pictures. Also, we're not just posting vehicles now. Send us anything you find that is related to Northern American, well, pretty much American now. I think we're going to kind of expand to that, of American, like in the American continent, both North and South America, police vehicles, and anything related to that you guys find funny.
So, Avery, you've got an Explorer's uniform, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering if, I don't know, if you would be, because I thought about it before, if you would be interested in seeing those type of pictures. We haven't done anything like that. I don't know if anybody wanted to see anything like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd probably do it.
Because I've already got a couple, so.
I don't have any of me, because I got a new phone, and yeah. But, so, yeah, keep sending us things. Thank you guys for helping us, and we will see you in our next podcast.
All right, thanks, guys.
And
See you guys.
thank you, Matt, for being a guest on this one.
Yep, no problem.
All right, thank you guys.